Hello, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Sound is good. Welcome everyone. I hope you've all been enjoying TDX so far, and thank you for sticking around. I know it's been a long day. We're here today to share our customer zero journey of how we at Salesforce are enhancing employee support on Slack and Experience Cloud using employee agents. Just a quick reminder that Salesforce is a publicly traded company, and customers should base their purchasing decisions on the products and services that are available to them. And thank you all for choosing this session from the many great sessions that are available to you at TDX this week. My name is Simon Finney. I'm a UX engineer on Salesforce's digital enterprise technology team. Delighted to be speaking with you here today. And at Salesforce, we are customer zero. So we rely on our own products and technologies to run critical business operations, and feel very lucky to be at the forefront of all the new product and innovation that's happening here at Salesforce. And being first adopters ensures that the Salesforce platform evolves to meet not just the needs of ourselves, but our customers as well, and is trusted to scale. So in today's session, you'll discover how we at Salesforce have built our employee agent to enhance employee support. And you'll also learn some techniques for implementing Agentforce for both Slack and Experience Cloud as well. So maybe you're thinking something like this. Now, how do you build one agent to effectively support the productivity of a large global enterprise like Salesforce? I'd like to begin by telling you a little bit about employee support at Salesforce. So at Salesforce, for our 80,000-ish employees to be successful, they need reliable information and they need it fast. We conduct surveys annually with our employees, and this survey that we conducted last year surfaced these top insights. So we learned that finding and sharing information with employees can be quite hard. Now, our employees, they work in Salesforce, they work in Slack, they work in web, sometimes they work in all three at once. And as a result of that, the employee experience we observed was being consistently degraded across the board. So we learned that our employees want fewer places to do work, and they want more AI capabilities and tooling to support them in getting work done. And so to address some of these productivity barriers, we launched a self-service intranet for knowledge and support. Now, this intranet consolidates thousands of knowledge articles and resources into one integrated support experience, and it's personalized for our employees by attributes such as region, for example, their work location, persona, they could be in HR, they could be in sales, they could be in IT, and role, so they might be an individual contributor, they may be a manager of a team, and so on. And if employees can't find what they're looking for in the articles and the knowledge that we provide, they can also create support tickets for further support as a last resort. And of course, who would we be if we weren't using our own technology? So Salesforce, like some of our customers, use Slack for smart team collaboration. We house our people, projects, knowledge all under one roof. That means that we can have support where work happens, and between that and the Salesforce platform, we can begin to orchestrate some of our work across agents and apps and all of that good stuff. And so for our intranet, we also build and deploy the front end of that using Experience Cloud. And for the uninitiated, it's a no-code, low-code platform for building bespoke websites using your Salesforce data. We also use custom LWC or Lightning Web Components, as well as Lightning Web Runtime for the scale, security, and performance benefits that platform provides. So our employees, they rely heavily on our knowledge as part of their day, and our intranet has seen an 100% adoption rate across the company. To give you an idea of the amount of traffic that we've seen in the last year or so, we've had 3 million knowledge searches across the board, around 8.5 million article views or views for content, and an 8% decrease in support costs last year alone. But despite this, our employees, they still ended up creating around 650,000 support tickets. That's a lot of tickets, and high adoption also means a high rate of support. And we discovered that even these support tickets were being created for very simple queries where the answers were available in the knowledge and the content that was available to them. So we asked ourselves, how can we bring this number down? How do we reduce our tickets? Or better yet, how can we prevent the need for tickets in the first place? You see, we realized we were operating in a reactive support cycle, and our employees were losing 20% of their work week searching, recreating, and duplicating information. We discovered that our employees would create a ticket because searching for the answers was just difficult and time-consuming. And then we found when they created this ticket, there would be an average response time of about 1 to 2 days. This was always also creating a cost for our support teams. It was preventing them from from focusing on complex tasks and tickets. So we knew we needed a different approach. So we asked ourselves, how could Agentforce enhance this for our employees and our support teams? We had an opportunity for employees and agents to work side by side to unlock productivity, realizing Salesforce's vision of the agentic enterprise. And so to start deflecting simple questions where the answer was already available in knowledge content, 6 months ago, our team launched this employee agent for both Slack and Experience Cloud. Helps employees find information and perform routine tasks instead of the regular workflow of working through our knowledge intranet. And in just 3 months, we saw a 22% reduction in the support tickets that were being created. So we'll look at a real-world example from a new hire's perspective. Let's imagine we're a new Salesforce employee. We're interested in learning more about something called the Employee Stock Purchase Plan, or ESPP for short. We might say something like, I've heard of the stock purchase plan. I've just started. I hear it's a good benefit. I'd like to enroll, but I don't really know when I can enroll. I know that there might be certain enrollment periods, but I need to find out more information about the enrollment period. So we'll take a look at a before and after of this experience using Agentforce. Get started. So just do a click-through demo. So I'll begin my journey on our intranet homepage, where I'll begin looking for some information on the stock purchase plan. I see that there's a search bar here. It suggests I search by asking a question. I want to know when I can enroll in the stock purchase plan, so I drop that into my search. I hit enter, and this might be a familiar workflow for you. I arrive on this list of 15 search results. They all seem to be related to the stock purchase plan. I'm pretty sure that this first result here, an FAQ on the stock purchase plan, is going to have the information that I need. So I'll select that, and when I land on the article page, see a lot of content. I begin reading through this content to find information about the enrollment periods. I'm going to scroll and scan the content. I see an FAQ. I look through some of the questions there. I still can't find information about the enrollment periods. So in the end, I see this option for these support options over here on the far side. I'm going to go and create a support ticket. Once I select that, I'm brought over to this form where I can log a ticket. I drop in my question and I click submit. My ticket is created. This gets assigned to a member of our support team to respond with the query, and I can expect a response in 1 to 2 days. So overall, a pretty unsuccessful workflow. We saw I had to search and sift through the search results to find the information I needed. In the end, I couldn't find anything about the enrollment periods, so I created a ticket creating that cost for our team. So we'll try that again. This time we'll do it using Agentforce. So here we've augmented an employee agent to help our employees search and ask common support questions on the knowledge that we provide. We'll start with the same question I asked previously. When can I enroll in the stock purchase plan? Press enter. Agentforce is going to take a second to think about it and generate a response. And then it comes back with content that have been pulled directly from our knowledge and resources. So you can see the first thing that it brings up is information about the enrollment period and enrollment periods, and that was just information that I couldn't find in the article content. So no searching and sifting through the articles to find what I need. I'll look at another scenario. Let's say, for example, we are back on the intranet, we've given up a little bit, and we're asking a question. We're creating a support ticket for our teams because we can't find the answer for our question. So I add my question again to the description, I click submit. This time, a little bit of processing happens, and we can expect that a ticket is created. But instead, our employee agent has intercepted our user's question, similarly to our Slack agent, with the answer taken from that knowledge content. So this doesn't eliminate the need for human intervention entirely. We all know how generative AI can be. If I'm not satisfied with the answer, I can still go and create a ticket for further support, or if it's a more complex issue. So these simple things were huge wins for both our employees and our support teams. I'll talk a little bit about the implementation to see how we got there. So our implementation, like I mentioned, uses all Salesforce products and technologies. We had both a Slack and an Experience Cloud agent entry point for employee and agent communication. Our employee asks our agent a question, agent does a little bit of processing, returns with an answer. And now our agent has topics, actions, instructions, all of those things, all defined in Agentforce Builder. Here our topic answers questions on those thousands of knowledge and resources that I mentioned previously. And then really under the hood, it takes all of this context, it creates a prompt to query the LLM where a response is processed and our answer is returned back from the agent to our employee. To go into a little bit of these, I mentioned we have thousands of knowledge and resources. We have knowledge records that we pull in from different systems. Here's an example of the stock purchase plan FAQ, which I showed during the demo. And then over in the new Agentforce Builder, our agent has a topic for searching that knowledge content. We define this in all natural language, like all things in Agentforce Builder. This is a custom topic for us. If you're just getting started off, we do have standard topics that you can use out of the box for things like this. I think there's one called General FAQ. And then, of course, we're going to describe some instructions to tell Agentforce how to handle those conversations as well. So in this case, if our question can be reasonably answered with the content that's available in our knowledge resources, use this employee knowledge action. And to preview that, I'll use the same question that I asked, when can I enroll in the stock purchase plan? And in the Agentforce Builder interaction summary, our agent is going to reason. It'll transition to that topic I just showed. It'll reason a bit more, and then it'll switch to the action and execute that action. For us, it's going to pass our employee's question over into a prompt template. And here's that prompt template in our prompt builder. So here we take some employee context. I mentioned at the start things like an employee's region or workplace, their persona, their role, and this is to tailor the knowledge for employees. We'll take that context, also the employee's question, and then we're going to call a custom agent invocable action from an Apex class. It's very custom for us, it's knowledge search. But again, if you're just getting started off, we have standard actions for this kind of thing, like answer questions with knowledge, I believe is one of them. So that's it. That's the gist of our underlying Agentforce configuration. I'll talk a little bit about how you can then deploy your agents to Slack. So this is also available in a trailhead that I'll share at the end of the session also. So in your Salesforce org, if you're an admin or if you have an admin can set up a connection to Slack by finding and installing something called the Slack Platform Connector. After that's installed, your Slack admin can request a connection to your Salesforce org in Tools and Settings. And you can connect up to 25 Salesforce orgs using any org's domain URL. And once that request has been made, then both your Salesforce and your Slack admin can approve and activate the connection in both Salesforce and Slack. And with that set up, it's time to install the agent to Slack as well. So we'll go back to Agentforce Builder and we'll create an agent connection there. So here with the agent activated in Agent Builder, there's a Tools panel on the left-hand side. You can select the connection section from there, add connections. You'll get this little pop-up window. Then you can select Slack and add that to your agent. And then in Slack, your admin can then review, will see that request and can review, approve, install, and manage the agent from there. Now the agent is ready to answer questions on our knowledge. So I'll look at a few techniques for Experience Cloud now. So I mentioned we delivered this custom Agentforce experience with LWC to intercept our tickets. Here we referenced the Agentforce Developer Guide, and this was to interact with the Agent API. So these docs detail examples that we can use to send and receive messages with our agent via REST API, as well as guidance on troubleshooting, considerations, how to handle variables, all of that good stuff. For this, we use the Agent API to start a session with our agent. When the employee's query was sent, we took that employee question, so when can I enroll in the stock purchase plan? We sent it to the Agent API endpoint, and when we receive a response, we take the message there and we render that back out as LWC to our employees, preventing that support cost. So just a quick bonus, let's imagine we've also published a messaging deployment for our agent in Service Cloud as well. So we'll skip to our Builder in Experience Cloud. Here in the Components panel, we can search for something called the Embedded Messaging Standard Component. And when we find that, we can drag and drop it onto any page in Experience Cloud. We'll take our configuration for the deployment, our employee agent configuration, and we'll publish our site. And then we have an out-of-the-box agent that is ready to answer questions on our knowledge, similar to our Slack implementation, all without us writing additional code. So that's all I'll share for the implementation. Finally, what did we take away from this experience? So for our employees, 100% of those surveyed were delighted with our agentic solution to this. It's taking back work that they would have had to do anyway. And for us at Salesforce, with support where work happens, in 6 months we've seen some great results. For our employee agent, we've seen 45,000 of our employees adopting it in Slack and Experience Cloud. About 360,000 hours per week reclaimed. It's about 8 hours per employee or a work day reclaimed for meaningful work. And also I mentioned a 22% support ticket reduction in just 3 months, and that number's only getting better by the day. So great results, I'm pleased with that. So it's worth restating that you can build your agent once and use it on multiple channels, meeting your employees where they work. In our case, we deploy the same implementation of our employee agent to Slack and twice in Experience Cloud via our custom LWC and the standard out-of-the-box components. So it's a huge win for developer productivity, and it provides a consistent support experience for our employees no matter where they're working. So if you found this interesting and you would like to take it further, explore this Trailhead project to build your first employee agent with Agentforce. Start with one standard topic, one standard action, take a knowledge source, and maybe explore deploying to Slack or Experience Cloud. That's all for today. Thank you all very much for sticking around and for joining, and to our team for pulling this work together and the story to share with you all.